Hello my lovelies and welcome back once again to my channel, Lauren Levels Up. I hope you're all keeping safe and well in these odd times that we find ourselves in. On a positive note, things in Spain seem to be improving at the minute, dare I say. They are slowly starting to bit by bit lift the lockdown where they can, so that's feeling quite positive. And also the weather has drastically improved over the last 2 or 3 days or so, which I don't know about you guys, but it massively lifts my spirit when I feel like the summer is coming back. So I've been feeling a little bit flat and demotivated over the last couple of weeks, but that's definitely helped, and also has inspired me to do a bit of a makeup base related tutorial for you on how to get a really summery glowy base, but that is going to dry down to a point where it's going to stay put for you. So there's a few tips and tricks in here that I use for my brides here in Spain when I'm working, and then also just a few little bits and pieces that I like to do myself just personally as well. So if you think that this might be for you, then please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and of course share as well if you think that somebody else that you know might benefit from this video too. And I will get straight into the tutorial. The only thing I will mention just before I start is that just before you're going to do a look like this, just make sure that your skin is cleansed, exfoliated, and really well moisturized, just so we've got that really nice, smooth, moisturized canvas with lots of hydration in it, ready so that all of the products that we're going to use can really work their glowing magic on everything. So as you can see, it is a look like this, which just has so much luminosity and summer feel to it. So I will, without further ado, get straight into the tutorial for you guys. So starting off with clean, exfoliated, moisturised skin, the first product I'm going to be using is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and I'm just using 1 pump of this and smoothing it all over my face, and that's just going to provide us with the foundations for a very lit from within glow. And then this step is entirely optional, but personally I do need a green colour corrector to correct any redness around my nose, and then also a peachy colour corrector underneath my eyes just to correct any darkness, and this is the Gellar colour corrector collection. And then the first layer that I'm going to be popping on is of the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray, and this is just going to provide our foundation with something to stick to. I'm going to be using a mixture of the Urban Decay Naked Skin and Too Faced Born This Way foundations, and I've also mixed in just 1 drop of the ordinary rosehip facial oil, but you could skip this if you have a particularly oily skin type. And here I'm just mixing all those together, dotting it onto my face and blending it away with my damp beauty sponge from NYX. The reason that I'm using these 2 foundations in particular is not only just to mix the correct colour for me, but also because they are 2 fantastic foundations with a real glowy finish to them, but one that really dries down and is going to last you all day long. Here I've just shown you a little close-up of what those foundations look like once they are on. And then to brighten the centre of my face, I'm using Tarte Shape Tape, but rather than drawing on the large triangular shape underneath my eyes and also on the centre of my face, I'm really concentrating that in a smaller area right towards the very centre, just because these concealers are really quite heavy coverage, and I don't want to mattify the centre of my face too much, otherwise we're going to take away from that glow that we've started to create. So just blending all of that away, again with my sponge, but not bringing it out too far onto the rest of the face. And then to keep up that glow, we're going to be cream contouring and bronzing. So I've just mixed together 2 shades of the Decay Naked Skin foundation, and I'm going to be popping that onto my usual contour areas, so my cheekbones, my forehead and my jawline. And then once I blend that away, again with the same beauty sponge from NYX, this will just melt into the skin in a way that's going to create a contour, but also to warm up and bronze the face as well, and just give a really summery vibe to the look that isn't going to look too matte. For example, if we were to use a powder contour product, which would just take away from the overall effect that we're trying to create. So this is just going to bronze us up, contour the face, but really keep the glow to everything. And then here I'm just using the concealer end of the sponge just to clean up underneath that cheek contour. And then now that we've got all those cream products on, we need another layer of setting spray. And then I'm going to use the Hourglass translucent setting powder. And I'm not using this in the same way as I normally would. I'm not pressing it in with my beauty sponge. I'm just using a brush and I'm dusting the lightest amount of this over those areas that we added the concealer to. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. And this is a powder with a lot of glow to it. So I'm going to be able to set the periphery of my face, as you can see me doing here, just dusting a really light layer of that on. And again, it's going to set the makeup, but without mattifying it too much. For the perfect glowy blush, you can use any lipstick that has a bronzy or rose shade to it. So here you can see me just dotting that on to the apples of my cheeks and then blending it away again with the same sponge. And this is just, again, going to create a really, really glowy blush that looks lit from within and really meshed into the skin. Don't forget, because we are using a cream product, we need to set it with a really fine layer of a powder. This is something I particularly do for my brides. So using the Revolution Pro Sugar and Spice palette, I'm just adding a touch of that peachy tone over the top. And this is where we're going to amp up the glow. I'm just using this Cover FX liquid highlighter. And I'm basically just popping that onto all of the high points of my face. So the parts of my face that the sun would naturally hit and reflect the light from. So that's the tops of the cheekbones, the centre of the bridge of the nose, a tiny little bit perhaps on the end of the nose, but not too much. And then also the Cupid's bow. This is going to help to make the lips look much bigger as well. Also just above the arch of the brow there as well is somewhere that naturally tends to catch the light. And then this is entirely optional, but I did want to amp it up a little bit more with the highlighter, so I'm using the NYX Born to Glow palette, mainly this golden shade, but a little bit of that pink champagne shade too. And I'm just going to really, really lightly dust that over those same areas where we applied the liquid highlight, just to amp up the highlight volume a little bit. And I must say, a tiny bit of this highlight powder does go a long, long way. And of course, to finish our base off, we just need one final misting of that setting spray to lock everything in place for the rest of the day. So just to show you here, I've popped on some mascara, some lip gloss, and I've done my brows just to show you what this look looks like once you get the rest of your makeup on. But really, it's the skin that does all the talking, that real summer glow, summer vibes, and will stay in place all day for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you did enjoy it. For now though, please stay safe and well, and I'll see you next Wednesday in my next video.